Hello everybody, in this video I will be analyzing Resident Evil 7 Biohazard through a combined framework of ludology and gameplay, post-humanism and effect theory, while also drawing connections to the cultural anxieties surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. I'll explore how the game's mechanics shape the player's experience, how its themes challenge our ideas of the human body, and how it produces emotional and sensory reactions through fear and tension. To begin with ludology and gameplay, this framework focuses on how the game mechanics create meaning. In Resident Evil 7, the horror experience is not only told through story and narration, it is played. The first-person perspective immediately immerses the player inside Ethan's body, making every movement feel personal and immediate. The game removes the distance that earlier Resident Evil 7 titles had, and instead brings fear directly into the player's field of view. Resource scarcity is one of the major mechanics. Limited ammo, limited health items, and the small inventory system forces players to make stressful decisions about what to carry and what to leave behind. This design produces tension even before an enemy appears. The game also uses slow exploration, locked doors, puzzle solving, and claustrophobic corridors to control player pacing. For example, early sequence in the Baker house where the player navigates dark hallways with almost no weapons uses mechanics, not cutscenes, to generate fear. Connecting this back to COVID-19, these mechanics parallel real pandemic behaviors. The stress of limited resources, the need to carefully manage supplies, and the slow, cautious navigation of spaces due to the fear of contamination. Gameplay simulates survival behavior that many people experience during lockdown. This is how Resident Evil 7's mechanics don't just support the horror, they produce it for the player. Posthumanism helps us examine how Resident Evil 7 blurs the line between human and non-human, mainly through infection and the bodily transformation. The Baker family is the clearest example. They look human, but Evelyn's infection takes away their agency and reshapes their body. Margaret mutates into insect-like creatures, and Ethan survives extreme injuries like losing his hand. This framework strongly connects to COVID-19 because society became hyper-aware of the fragility of the human body, invisible contamination, and the fear of being infected. Resident Evil 7's infection narrative mirrors that anxiety. The key insight here is that Resident Evil 7 uses body horror to question what it means to be human, showing how identity and the body can shape, mutate, or break down, an idea that gained new relevance during the pandemic. A key insight here is that Resident Evil 7 uses body horror to challenge what it means to be human. The game suggests that identity, agency, and the body are fragile and easily altered. Through post-humanism, Resident Evil 7 becomes a commentary on both biological and vulnerability, and the fear of losing control of one's body, something that felt very real during the pandemic. Effect theory helps us understand how the game produces emotional and bodily sensations in the player. Instead of focusing on what we think, effect emphasizes what we feel physically as players. Resident Evil 7 uses its sound design, lighting, camera's perspective, and sense of space to generate fear. For example, the sound of footsteps behind the player, heavy breathing when Ethan is injured, or the creaking of the Baker house creates a constant feel of unease. The first-person perspective intensifies this affective experience by collapsing the distance between the player and the character. When Mia leaps out during the "Welcome to the family, son" scene, the shock is felt directly and bodily. This directly paralleled COVID-19, where ordinary spaces, groceries, hallways, hospitals, communicating with people, these all became sites of fear. Many people experienced heightened bodily awareness, anxiety, and hypervigilance, which are the same emotional states Resident Evil intentionally triggers. An emotional insight here is that Resident Evil 7's horror is not purely narrative. It operates through the player's nervous system, generating real sensory responses such as flinching, holding breath, or feeling panic. When combined, these frameworks illuminate different layers of the same experience. Ludology shows how gameplay mechanics create vulnerability, Posthumanism explains why the infected body is so central to the horror, and effect theory shows how the fear is felt physically by the player and also by the infected character. In conclusion, analyzing Resident Evil 7 shows how the game produces fear mechanically, narratively, and emotionally. Overall, this analysis contributes to a broader conversation about how game media engages with cultural fears, bodily identity, and player experience in post-pandemic world. Thank you very much. We are Aline Alamad, Imjan Kaliyeva, and Yuri Pitkevich.